Ready?
It is 10:03 on what is the date?
Well,
The 12th of September, and the SSBAC meeting is hereby called to order. We turn it over to Scott and Jason, guys.
do you want to call
Be
roll?
driving, Scott?
You want to take a roll?
Oh, I'm sorry, I keep forgetting we have to do that. Okay, Murphy,
Hey, Murphy Webster here.
Murphy's here. Jason is in the room with us. Todd is here virtually. Okay.
Present virtually.
Murphy, let's see. And we have Tommy. Is Tommy part of our team?
No, he'll be.
Okay, is Tommy a guest speaker? Okay.
That's,
And Andre Robotham is a guest speaker, I take it. And David's here. Cookie Pegan is here. Jason, Scott. And
Mike Martin is also.
yeah, Mike
Yeah.
Martin. I think I call him Michael. Mike Martin is here virtually. Okay.
All right, good morning, everybody. This is the Special Sign District Advisory Committee for September 12th, 2023. We have 3 new cases and 1 that was held over from last time. These are the 3 cases. There's 2308-110010 for 1517 Main Street, located in the downtown Special Provision Sign District. We have 2308-140017 and 2308-110018, both located at 2019 North Lamar Street in the West End Historic Sign District. Starting with 2308-110010, this is an application for certificate of appropriateness by Andre Robotham of Signs Up for an 11.2 square foot illuminated attached sign at 1517 Main Street on the south elevation. This is in the downtown Special Provision Sign District, Retail A. It also follows PD number 619, Subdistrict A. The proposed sign is a projecting attached sign composed of an aluminum cabinet with internally illuminated acrylic letters and logo against the facade facing Main Street and bearing the name CBD Kratom Cannabis Dispensary with a logo. Applicable code sections met 51A-7.900 downtown SPSD. From 51A-7.902, the purpose: regulate signs to enhance, preserve, and develop the unique character of downtown while addressing the diversity of business and promoting its economy. Include aesthetic considerations to ensure signs are appropriate to the architecture of the district, do not obscure its significant features, and lend themselves to the developing retail and residential uses and the pedestrian character of the area. Inspired by the need to maximize effective orientation of signs toward the high level of walking public. The subject site is located within the inner loop of downtown area. The site is approximately 0.3 of a mile north of City Hall, north of I-30 and between I-35 and I-45. This is our SPSD map. This is located in downtown. Aerial map and zoning map of the location. Let's let it catch up. There we go. Aerial view of the sign location. The proposed sign is to be installed on the south facade facing Main Street. This sign is to occupy less than 11% of the total facade area. You can see its location in relation to existing signs on the building. The existing signs were previously approved at director level. So the dimensions of the sign are 2 foot, 9.61 inches by 4 foot, 3.25 inches, with an area of 11.2 square feet. The colors are black, white, and green. The backlighting is white LED. And these are the structural drawings. So here's the site photos facing the location. These are facing east on Main. You can see the location on that right photo.
Scott, is that an existing sign that will be replaced with this new sign? The one that's in the,
That one is one of the non-premise signs,
okay,
The video boards.
the video boards. So this will be in addition.
okay.
Oh,
Yeah, I mean,
like a horror movie.
That'll wake you up.
Yeah.
Here's some views looking down west, from looking westward on Main. And these are some similar signs in the district. There we go.
we've got a little delay that we're trying to.
Yeah, staff recommends approval.
Is this Mr. Robotos?
Yes, we do have Andre Robotham on,
If he has any comments?
virtually.
Okay.
I'm just here if there's any questions about it.
Well,
Do we have
I
any
got-
questions?
I got a question. Can we go back to show where that blade sign is coming out of the building? Okay. So is the existing sign staying or going?
Dang,
It's staying? Okay, so this is in addition to.
yes.
That existing sign is one of the non-premise video boards where, I believe there's, is it 22? That's what's allowed downtown?
Yeah, 'cause
No, it's 15. There's 15 allowed within vendor loop, sorry. 22 super graphics.
But it's much higher than-
There's also an existing sign. This, we're talking about, this is cases about the blade sign, correct?
Yes.
Okay,
And the lower level, yeah.
at the lower level. And that other sign is already been previously approved.
Yes, it was under director procedure because it's.
Okay,
50.
so it meets the requirement. So we're really just talking about the small blade at the lower end. Okay.
Is this overhanging the right of way?
Yes.
And I gotta get, I'm sorry, go ahead.
Is there a licensing agreement that's in place or is that next?
So the licensing agreement will have to be in place before we can issue the permit. Generally, they take a little bit longer than these CAs, but the agreement will need to be in place before the permit can be issued.
Okay. That answers my question.
Answered mine too.
David, did you have any questions?
No.
I don't have any other questions, so do we have a motion on this sign?
I'll motion to approve. Murphy
I'm
Webster.
sorry, Murphy, was that you, Murphy? Motion to approve, a second?
I'll second.
Okay, David Dumas, second. We'll have to do the roll call vote. I'm sorry, I keep forgetting we're virtual. Okay, Todd, your vote, please, sir.
In favor?
In favor, Murphy,
Oh, I like that. In favor?
in favor, David,
In
in
favor.
favor, and the chair votes in favor. Okay, so it stands approved.
I got to get this off my chest the whole time. Every time I look at this, I can only think of this new country western song. It's the gummy in my tummy just kicked in.
Leave it up to Murphy. Leave it up to Murphy. Moving on.
Sorry. It's the entertainment value. That's why I'm here.
You know,
Jimmy
we was
Buffett.
a serious group in here at one point in time.
God love it.
Okay.
So the next two we combined, if that's okay, in the presentation, since they're on the same elevation for the same site.
All right. So these next two are 2308-40017 and 2308-140018. These are applications for certificates of appropriateness by Melissa Hallett of Mellow Signs for two non-illuminated attached signs on the northeast elevation facing Lamar Street at 2019 North Lamar Street. These fall in the West End Historic Sign District, and it's zone CA1A. 2308-140017 is a 3.5 square foot non-illuminated lower level flat attached sign bearing the name The Operators Club. 2308-140018 is a 3 square foot non-illuminated attached canopy sign bearing the name of The Operators Club. The applicable code sections met are 51A-7.1000 West End Historic Sign District. The purpose is to regulate the construction of new signage and alterations made to the existing signage with a view towards preserving the historic nature of this district, and to include aesthetic considerations to ensure that new signage is of appropriate historical design and does not visually obscure significant architectural features of the building or the district in general. The subject site is located within the West End Historic District. The site is approximately 1 8/10 miles northwest of City Hall, south of Woodall Rogers Freeway, and east of I-35. The SPSD map, this is the West End. We see the aerial map and zoning map of this location.
And if the stars were on this, they would be here. And here. There, but
The proposed signs are to be installed on the northeast facade facing North Lamar Street. So 2308-140017. This sign is to occupy less than 1% of the total facade area. You can see it pointed out on the elevation here. It's that small flat attached sign below the light. Dimensions are 17 inch by 30 inch with an area of 3.5 square feet. Colors include aluminum, gold, white, and black. Two 2308-140018. This sign is to occupy less than 1% of the total facade area. As you can see pointed out, this is the canopy sign. The dimensions are 6 foot 1 inch wide by 6 inch tall with an area of 3 square feet. Colors are white and black. These are current conditions. This is looking south on Lamar. and then south on McKinney. Looking south on Lamar and McKinney, and north on Lamar. And these are similar signs in the district. And staff recommends approval.
And we do have Tommy Tanner, who's virtual with us. If he'd like to speak. Tommy, you'll need to turn on your video.
Can you see me?
Is he with us now?
We
Can you
can.
hear me?
His
Yeah.
video,
We can hear you, we
Okay.
just can't see you.
his video is on.
All right.
There we go.
You got me now?
Yeah.
Okay, great. Yeah, I'm just here in case you guys had any questions. But yeah, the customer wanted to, keep it low profile, keep it the design of the, keeping the general, the way the West End is, and not really bring attention to it, but also want to get their name out there, but nothing outlandish. We had originally had a more extravagant design on the awning, but then they've changed it to just say the Operators Club, just to keep it more in line with the other signs in the area.
Just to add something to the presentation, this sign will require a CA from Landmark and in order to issue the permit as well.
Has that process already started, Jason?
That'd be a question for the applicant.
Tommy, have y'all already started the process with Landmark?
Yes, we've reached out to Dr. Forgive me, Runed or
Done?
Dunn. I'm sorry. Yes.
Okay.
I think the right-of-way agreement, we have not started that. We're still pending an official survey from the client, but it's in the works. I should be getting it, sometime this week.
So just process question. Does this then go forward to CPC before it goes to Landmark? But then Landmark can step in and okay.
Generally,
Understand the process.
yeah, generally if you run them at the same time,
Mhm.
the Landmark process will complete by the time the CPC process moves forward. CPC generally likes to see that CA has been approved by Landmark first, but we don't establish an order. In order to issue a permit, all three of the processes have to be completed.
Okay.
They do have an application for the awning itself
Mhm.
in process now, but again, that permit can't be issued until the right-of-way agreement is actually achieved.
Okay, and I have one educational question because I walked up and left my folder I picked up the wrong folder this morning. There was one comment about UV something, was that UV paint or something?
UV print is a type of print ink.
So it's what, UV resistant?
Yeah.
And does it go on metal? I mean, how does it get compared to the?
It's either heat pressed or screen printed onto the awning itself.
Okay, because like I said, y'all are still teaching me. So this was just simply an educational question. Okay, do we have any other questions? Murphy, Todd, did you guys
Yeah.
have any questions?
I've got two questions. Well, I've got one question, one comment. So the question is on the canopy. This is basically just replacing the existing canopy.
Yes, sir.
Okay. And then I guess the comment or question comment on the flat panel sign, are those threaded studs intended to be aligned so that they go in the mortar and not the brick?
Right. That's our plan, is to not put, we're not going to put any holes in the brick structure, just in the mortar.
Okay. Yeah, it'd be nice if that was notated on here.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, we should have noted it on there. That's our mistake.
Because I can't remember how old those bricks are, but they're pretty fragile and old.
Just as.
Right, we would go and take, exact measurements of
Okay,
where we're gonna put it and then put those, stud marks where the mortar would be.
and
Yeah.
Murphy, I don't know if you heard what, Jason was suggesting is that maybe we put that as one of the, as a condition when we sign off to move this forward, just as an annotation that, it's going to be into the mortar rather than the surface of the brick.
Yeah, well, I would do it just for landmark alone. So,
Yeah.
yeah, good idea. Great idea.
Todd, did you have any questions or concerns?
No, other than those two, no.
Okay, David?
No, I think they've been answered.
Okay, I have no other questions, so are we ready for a motion to?
I'll motion to approve with the stipulation that the sign F, the studs be anchored in the mortar and not the brick.
Okay,
I'll second that motion. This is Todd.
okay, was that, Todd, was that you?
Correct.
Okay, because sometimes it's hard for me to hear, especially when my allergies are acting up. Okay, and so we'll put in that, the condition that it's anchored in the mortar rather than the brick surface. Okay. We are ready for a vote. Todd, your vote, please, sir.
In favor?
Murphy?
Oh, in favor.
David?
In favor.
And the chair votes in favor. So congratulations, it will move forward, and since you were gonna do that already, it won't be a significant change. So thank you for coming, and thank you, Tommy, for your comments.
I appreciate y'all's consideration. Thank you.
That reminded me of a country western song.
Uh-oh.
Sorry.
Oh, no.
My mom said, you don't know when to be quiet, Murphy.
Okay. So continuing on, we're revisiting SPSD 223-002 JP, which was held over from last month. Would you like me to go through the entire presentation again, or do you want me to skip to the revisions that were made?
David, you,
I'm pretty familiar with it. I would.
okay, so we went.
Just want to go to the revisions. That would be fine.
Okay.
Okay, any objection from Todd or Murphy
No.
to just hitting the revisions?
No objections here.
Okay.
It was held over last month, due to questions of the percentage allowed on the upper facade. They have since reduced it from 5%, which they originally requested, to 3%, which, we believe falls more in line with, that area. So.
We do have the applicant team here. Staff is recommending approval.
Was that the only change?
No, I'm sorry, yes, that was the
Okay,
only
that's
change. That was the only change.
And if we may, thank you guys all for coming out for individual independent site visits. It was great to show you guys the project and hope that you enjoyed it. While we were reviewing just the final count of signs and whatnot, we inadvertently omitted one of the existing monument signs. So our request would be to have 4 monument signs permitted in the sub-district. Again, those are just the 2 that are already existing and then the 2 new proposed that you all saw on the actual plan itself. And I can share my screen just to point those out to you if you'd like.
It'll be on
You guys are able sharing on what? Scott,
I think it's just a minute delayed.
okay, it's loading, okay.
I'm gonna have Scott pull up the text, just so we can look at how it's written.
Okay.
There it goes.
So, yeah. So oh, yeah.
Yeah, so I guess the three that we had previously counted was this corner one here, the new one that's here, I believe. And then just accidentally touched it. Can't show it, but then the one down here by the lobby that's the tenant ID. The one that we inadvertently had missed was this one up here that's there today that just is entering into that
Oh, yeah.
into the parking lot that's there that has Crush Crab and Theater 3 written on it.
I'm getting it to the right spot.
Okay. Let's see. Any questions?
No, ma'am.
No, me either.
No questions? David, did you have any questions?
What is the exact definition of the upper facade area?
It's above 36 feet.
Above
He,
36 feet.
Yeah, he's pulling that. I think what was done before was the upper level signs in the McKinney district, they're allowed 5% of the lower facade.
Right.
So what they've proposed to do is take 3% of the upper facade, which is the top of the building above 36 feet.
Okay.
Which is
I'm
more
trying to
consistent
feel
with downtown.
Okay, I'm trying to remember from the presentation. We're not talking about up on the equipment level.
Maybe.
I can show.
We were just bragging about our new technology and all of a sudden it fails on us again.
We popped up over there. I can't get it to pop up over here.
Sometimes it's the Indian, not the arrow.
Leave it to Murphy.
Love you, Jason.
Okay, we've got it up there.
Okay.
Okay.
So if we could look at detached signs. So one of the things this sub-district also did is they introduced the idea of subdivision signs, which are base zoning, and the subdivision signs can only display the name of the business park.
Right.
And there were some additional provisions for it. But the monument signs, go back up, so 3 monument signs. Right there. So acceptance provided 3 multi-tenant monument signs in the quad and the Maple sub-district. Each must maintain a minimum spacing of 175 feet from all monument
I
signs.
think H was intended to be a new paragraph, and so it's just G1 is the 3 multi-tenant monument signs, so we've.
So H somehow didn't make it on that line.
Oh,
Yeah.
see where H is
There's H.
Yeah,
here.
just needs a carriage return. Okay.
The way that had been done before, from memory, and we're kind of doing this on the fly, they were allowed 1 per street frontage. And we're deviating from that because there's only 3 street frontages.
Correct.
Right, and there were 2 on that side street that you pointed out, right? One at the north end, one, well, I'm not on the top of the sign. 2 on that facade. Okay, and the one that you said was missed originally, do we need to annotate that? Because that would be then a total of 4.
That's what we're looking at, but how to, like, if there's a way to do that here, if that's acceptable, or or if not, and it needs to be looked at a little closer.
Okay.
Yeah, we had presented it before, but when we went back and did the count, we realized it was 4 instead of 3. So nothing changed on the site plan you saw last time, and it was included in your packet. It's just when we did the count, we realized that should have said 4 instead of 3. So we're asking for your consideration in the motion to change that to 4.
My thought was, had that been accounted for in any of the other provisions already? So you're intending 4 multi-tenant monument signs? Because I know we were looking at one sign where it bridged that entryway. Are you counting that one as 2 or as 1?
So it's, part of it is, the subdivision side is the left side, and then the right side is that multi-tenant monument, which I can pull up the images.
Is that for the whole development or is that for the office building?
It's for the whole development.
Can you show those locations again? And where that
Yes.
one, the new one is?
It's actually 2 existing and 2 new, correct?
Correct.
And what, okay. Subdivision sign versus monument sign, clarify for me. Scott, Jason, one of you guys.
So if you'll scroll down just a little bit. So under 51A7.303, which is the base zoning for subdivision signs, they're allowed as many as you need, 2 per street entrance is what it specifies as far as number.
Okay, that's
And
standard then.
Yes, they're allowed to be 40 square feet. They're not allowed to be illuminated. They can't be over 6 feet in height. So what was done here is the maximum effective area was increased to 65 square feet. They allow internal illumination, and then they're allowed to be up to 10 feet tall. Now, one of the other caveats were that the signs could only say the name of the subdivision. They couldn't give tenants or anything else. So these would be limited to the name of the district or the name of the
Okay.
the
So
subdivision.
quad.
But the number of those is 2 per street entrance.
Okay, but then how many were we saying were going to be tenant ornament signs?
And they mentioned that there would be 4 multi-tenant monuments.
There's 2 existing and there's 2 new ones.
Okay.
May I share?
Yes, please.
Yeah, because I think Murphy wanted to see locations again too.
So I think we were looking at that at one point as all one sign.
Right.
But now it's 2?
So
Or-
the way that it's constructed is it's connected at the base, so you sort of walk through the sign. The left portion of it is the subdivision sign. Sorry, there we go. This is the subdivision sign. And then to the right, this is the multi-tenant monument. And the location of that one specifically is called out as B right here.
Gotcha.
And then the other 2 that are existing today is this one, which is the one that was inadvertently omitted, and then this is the other existing one.
And those 2 are just existing monumental signs. They don't have the, kind of or what do you call it?
Subdivision.
Subdivision signage, there's tenant signs.
Your subdivision nomenclature, the subdivision sign and your new, monumental signs are at the bottom and then to the left here at your main entrance. It looks like the retail areas.
Correct, it's the subdivision signs would be the small portion of B, and then the Q that you all saw, and then the quad artistic feature that was,
Yes. that's
over here.
Okay, so the ones you pointed out are labeled A, and then the one up in the top corner that has some small verbiage about, on it, I think is where you pointed those out.
Yes,
And then
Existing.
to the right of the entrance, and then the far, I guess it's right beneath the D is your other monument sign, is that correct? It's not pointing to D, but it's right there.
So it's gonna be this little square this little square right here, this
That one, okay. that's
square
the-
right there. And then the L will be along the retaining wall.
Okay,
B will be half subdivision, half multi-tenant.
okay,
Yeah.
okay. Does that clarify Murphy and Todd?
Yeah, I guess the question was, so that is being considered one sign.
Okay.
Is that correct?
Do we have any other questions? My only question is how we go about modifying the verbiage. Does that need to be
Here.
is it something that can be accomplished now? Is it something that needs to be done and then reviewed by staff again? Because we can write something in here, but I guess I'm confused about what you guys need to do to keep everything legit. Because I don't want people running into problems further down the road.
Right. He's pulling up that verbiage or some of that is, she's got it pulled up. If you can zoom in on that.
So I think the modification to the language would just be to change 3 here to 4.
And is that a problem for staff? Because that changes, since this is a sub-district.
I don't think the number is gonna be a problem. How it's written there is what I'm looking at. Okay, H should be its own line.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We didn't return there.
And that
I
can be
think
done.
that should be okay. If not, we can look at that a little closer, but if all we're talking about is the number, then that,
We change from 3 to 4 multi-tenant monument signs.
now, what is the size limitation on those? It's like 150 or 120?
125, I think.
I'm sorry, is the distance the one you're talking about, Scott? Is that, like, right here it says 175
I'm
feet?
talking about the monumental size of the sign, I think.
You'll have to.
Oh, the size of the sign, not the distance.
Hundred and twenty-five, not to exceed 125 effective, 6 feet in height.
Well, it was maybe, I think they said 10
Right there,
feet.
150.
Well, but right
Yeah,
now,
we're scroll down.
that was the,
Right there.
the district. for the-
So 150 square feet for the quad. So it'd be, the final would be 4 multi-tenant signs, multi-tenant monument signs, not to exceed 150 square feet for the quad sub-district.
Okay.
Yeah, so that's one, and there's 2, where's the third?
So there's 2 that are existing,
Fourth.
and then they're proposing 2 new ones.
Mhm.
According to that, according to the way this is written, they're allowed 4. at
So-
150 square.
Are the existing going to be replaced or are they going to be reutilized?
The way this is written, it could be replaced if they
Right.
chose to, under these new provisions.
Is staff good with moving to 4?
Provided the spacing regulations are there, like, I don't know if we're gonna need to look at that as well.
This,
That's the
so just
165.
yeah, we have the, I don't know if you can really see it here, but we've provided, Beth has included that it's actually the 200-foot radii reflected there and there as well. And so there's, all of the spacing has been accounted for.
So one of the things is the way that was originally permitted is that second monument sign that's on the Laclede side.
Yeah.
It would have been permitted facing Ruth, since under base zoning, they're allowed 1 per frontage. And those are 200-foot radius, right, not diameter?
Correct.
But they could have 2 subdivision signs per street frontage,
Per street entrance.
per street entrance. Okay. So ideally, I mean, realistically, based on that, they could have multiple signs beyond that, beyond the 4 requested. If they were subdivision and then the quote unquote.
As subdivision signs, yes, and I think they're proposing some subdivision signs, yes.
We're calling the quad and the Q and those signs as subdivision signs, correct?
Correct.
Okay, and then just the multi-tenant signs are considered the quote unquote monument?
Right. They would be the only ones that could have tenant names on them.
Gotcha. And we got 4 of those, 1 for frontage, basically.
Right.
Okay.
So aside from what they're proposing, just strictly as it's written, they could have 4 multi-tenant signs, which if we look at it from the standpoint of not indicating a frontage, all 4 could be placed on one frontage, provided they had the 200-foot spacing, which realistically, they couldn't have 200-foot spacing between 4 signs along one frontage. So it kind of, the way the site's constructed would limit it to two signs on one frontage and 1 sign on the other frontages. I think as long as, I don't see an issue from a staff perspective. I think the only thing you would need to think about is the size in relation to the number.
Well, the dynamics of the site and all that's going on within, you know, I feel like what they're asking for is justified, at least in my eyes. I did get to view the model, and that was certainly impressive in its own right. I thought one of the things personally that was interesting was that the signs, quote unquote, the subdivision signs are more sculptural, even though they are signs. They have a sculptural attitude about them, and I really like that in that they play both sides of that design aspect. If staff's good with the 4, I would motion that carry that change in the paper for the submittal as it goes forward. Is that how that would do without having to come back?
Would we need to include in the approval subject to that modification to the language?
Yes, we need to
that
change
all?
our approval to subject to conditions anyway, so it'd be as briefed. I
Okay.
think the other side of this that we need to probably specify, just so base zoning doesn't kick in, is that I believe it's 51A 7.3, the 1 per street frontage. Let me see if I can find that real quick.
Yeah, I kind of agree with Murphy. I have no problem with increasing that to 4, especially since we have the 175-foot spacing between them. It's going to kind of
Right.
limit that between that and the site.
It's right here.
Do you find it's gone?
You said the spacing?
So it'd be, no, the spacing, I think we leave, it would be 51A 7.304. And it's B4. It says only 1 detached sign is allowed per street frontage. Other than expressways, 1 expressway sign is allowed. The expressway doesn't apply. I'm just reading it for purposes of this. 1 expressway sign is allowed for every 450 feet of frontage or fraction thereof of an expressway. We would need to put in that same 1 where it said 3, and it would be changed to 4, and it would need to say 51A 7.304. What did I say?
Before.
B4. Does not apply. So
it's really limited by the spacing.
right, it would be, yes, the 200, in this case, it's 200 feet. The 175 only applies to the quad that went
Oh,
through.
okay.
So if you want, I can read that motion or say that motion and somebody can repeat it if that works.
Okay, if you expect me to repeat, David, you're, you're not.
So it would be that,
So it's motion to approve with the,
approved subject to conditions
subject to the
revised
revised,
to allow 4 monument signs,
Allow-
multi-tenant monument signs,
or monumental tenant signs, multi-tenant signs.
4 multi-tenant signs.
David, are you putting that in a formal motion?
Yes, right.
Actually, what is it's in there? Well,
G1,
the whole thing.
it is 51A 7.1508 G1.
Okay, so it would be approved subject to conditions and revision to 51A 7.1508.
Scoot over, David. Sorry, guys.
No,
We have our challenges here.
Revision 51A 7.1508 G1
To allow
to
4.
allow for, and then how do we add?
And then 51A 7.304B4 does not apply.
And then 51A 7-304B4 does not apply.
Do we have a second to that rather complex motion?
This is Todd. I'll second.
Okay, second by Todd. Okay, we'll do our little roll call vote. Murphy, your vote, please, sir?
I vote to approve. Is Mike breathing? Okay.
I'm sorry.
You didn't move.
Okay, Todd, your vote, please, sir.
To approve based on the conditions mentioned.
Okay, to approve. And David?
Approved.
David approved, and I will vote approval, and then I do have one. Okay, the motion stands approved. However, I do have one caveat that you guys might want to be aware of. On the city planning commission, remember my reaction when I saw the size of the quad, the logo type thing that you were putting in the middle? There may be somebody on the city planning commission who objects to size, because some of them are they're even more conservative than I am on that. So just be prepared if somebody questions size. They may ask you to reduce the size somewhat. I do not know, because they've overridden me on a couple of things, or overridden this committee on a couple of things regarding size. And once you saw the scale model, and it might be wise to take a picture of that scale model or something so that you have it on hand, just so they can look at it and try to get the same perspective I got when I came to your lot.
thank you for that.
Appreciate that.
Do we have any other caveats, any other discussion? And I'm hoping you guys figure out how to put that in.
Yes.
Okay,
We will have a calendar next month. We'll have a revised calendar
okay,
on the table.
Yeah.
And then, other than that, just the minutes.
okay.
It's October.
And the only thing we have remaining is approval of the minutes. Has everybody had a chance to review the minutes?
I did.
Okay, any corrections or additions to the minutes?
No, ma'am.
None that I saw.
Okay, then the minutes stand approved as stated. So we don't need to vote on those. Okay, thank you, guys. And it is now 10:52. Any other business, Jason, Scott, that you're aware
Full disclosure, we received that like right before we briefed it. So
Yeah.
good job, guys.
of? Okay, then it is now 10:53 and the SSBAC meeting is hereby adjourned. Thank you so much and appreciate all you guys